So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Planets Through Navamsa chart video. And today we're going to be covering Rahu in the 12th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. As in, what happens when Rahu, the north node of the moon, is in the 12th house of your D9. And as you know, Navamsa is one of the most important charts in Vedic astrology. It represents the life of marriage. It represents your inner strength of the planets, the core of the planets, what planets really are. And it also, pretty much can be studied as a birth chart on its own because it shows the development of the soul. So that's what Navamsa chart is. And it's a chart of maturity as well. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular Navamsa, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Maka Vedic Astrology Academy, where I'm currently teaching planets through nakshatras and ascendant through nakshatra. Okay, so let's start with this Rahu video. So with Rahu in the 12th house, this is actually a very, very good placement to have. And of course, it's not all good. It does come with its, side effects. But Rahu in the 12th house, 12th house is the house of bed pleasures, meaning bed pleasures you receive from the marriage. It also represents the foreign travels that you gain through the marriage. It also shows the expenses that one deals with, on behalf of marriage. So Rahu, the thing is about, first of all, with Rahu and Ketu both, is that they're going to behave like the planet that they're conjunct and the planet that whose sign that they're sitting in. So if, let's say, Rahu is in the sign of Taurus in the 12th house, well, you have to see where exactly Venus is and what is the condition of Venus. And we use this in the birth chart as well, the same technique, what shows us exactly what Rahu is going to behave like, because Rahu is a very chameleon planet. It's kind of like Moon and Mercury. It starts behaving like the planets that they're sitting with. But see, the thing is, with Rahu in the 12th house, number one thing we see, especially nowadays, it's like I would probably say in the last 40, 50 years. I would not even say 40. Yeah, like 40 years or so. This is considered a great placement because here it shows that a person finds exile from where they're living and they go to foreign places, foreign lands. Or a person, especially, through marriage, will extensively travel and experience exotic cultures, exotic foods, even exotic sexual encounters in foreign lands with this Rahu. And especially whenever you have malefics, in any of the Dushtana houses like 6th, 8th, and 12th house, they tend to naturally do well. It's like you're taking somebody from the ghettos and putting them back in the ghettos. They know how to exactly operate, in those circumstances. Or you take somebody from, the slums and you say, okay, you have to go live in slums for a week, or however long this entity is going to live. They're like, oh, I'm used to it. I'll live in there. So that's where Rahu does quite well. And at the same time, what it shows is that with this particular placement, whoever becomes your enemy, whoever becomes kind of like your obstacle in life, they don't last for too long. And with Rahu, we also see that a person, now this is where you can see a duality. On one hand, a person can experience unusual events outside of the normal scope of society. For example, you go to India and you visit India, and you luckily get to meet one of the most mystical gurus on your trip, to Varanasi, your trip to around Himalayas. And you weren't even going for that. The experience came and it changed your life because you saw something that the mass media or the regular folks would consider hogwash or conspiracy theory. And you really saw that. So those experiences happen. On the other hand, it can, and it very well can bring in addiction issues. And addiction could be for anything. Usually it's addiction with drugs and alcohol and substance abuse. Sometimes Rahu can even give addiction towards power. One just wants to have the most power, but from behind the scenes. Rahu can give, addiction towards sex, bed pleasures, because Rahu is quite an addictive energy. So this is something where you have to watch out for. And the way to look at it is, how is the dispositor placed of Rahu, and what planets are aspecting Rahu? If benefics look at Rahu, obviously it's going to give more benefic potency. If malefic planets look at Rahu, of course they're going to put some toxicity in the energy of Rahu. So we have to see these things. But Rahu and Ketu generally become very good, especially for people who want to either travel or settle in foreign lands. It can be one of the most easiest placement to go to foreign lands and foreign places. And Rahu in the 12th house will also show that a person can enterprise in a foreign land. Like, for example, a person will be in their own home country most of the time, but somehow they're able to enterprise in a foreign country. They're able to gain fame and power in a foreign land. So this is why it's quite a good and unique position. And Rahu kind of, also creates problem, because Rahu can show continuous escape. One can become kind of like an escape artist, or always looking for escapism towards things. When this happens, the antidote for this particular Rahu is to immerse yourself in your daily work, daily routines, working out, doing exercise, even joining some non-profit organizations or social reform, or even like helping out the poor. When you are immersed in daily work, daily routines of life, suddenly it becomes the antidote for your escapism. So if, let's say, even if it's your work that brings you down and you're looking for escapism, which always does occur with Rahu in the 12th, you want to go towards the 6th house where Ketu is. Whether it's focusing on health, whether it's focusing on, exercise, focusing on unprivileged people, non-profit organizations, those are the things I will always be like, wow, why wasn't I doing this before? And usually you will find it becomes very hard for a person to get a divorce with Rahu in the 12th. Divorce, obviously, can finalize, but it'll be after a lot of struggles, like the uprooting. The marriage becomes the toughest. And in a way, it can be a blessing in disguise. And on the other way, it could, be quite an annoying nuisance. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Rahu in the 12th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these type of videos. And if you want to know where your Rahu is placed, all your astrological details, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with a specific video on, well, you guys will see.